Hi, Nick Tucker here for Nick Knows Nerf. Guys, we're going to be talking about some older blasters from a time where our good friends at Nerf decided it needs more balls. And we're going to start simple. We're going to start simple with this. This is the rifle knockout, which is a really nice blaster. It has that same roughly 100 FPS that you will find. I believe this is from the Dawn collection. That was donated to me by Dawn and her friend. I may be mistaken. As soon as that collection came in, my son rifled right through them, was having a blast, which meant it was a little hard. It has the classic paint on one side trick. But what's neat about it is the mechanism. At this point, and around here, the most you'll find is 7 to 10, maybe, balls in internal magazines in rifle blasters. But when this came out, they decided, nah, we need more. So what they did is this really neat contraption where it is actually it's a revolver. There's a revolving portion, and I will try to show you how it works when fired. And you have multiple internal magazines. In this case, it has 5 3-round magazines, which is really cool. Now, let me just get this guy put back in. This is, of course, a top prime blaster, which I am not overly fond of. I like bottom pump. I don't find this a comfortable motion because it takes off the hand I used to steady. And this is a bulky boy. But it was in place of the Maverick. You have to think in terms of the Maverick, the strong arm, the elite blasters, that, your revolver had 6 rounds. This has 15. Going at nearly twice the FPS because the rifle is a superior round. I believe it is. It's underappreciated. Now, I'm going to let this loose and let me see if I can fire it and let you. Okay, you guys saw it fire. Now, I'm trying to see if I can catch the revolving action, and it's really hard to do. There it goes. Because this has a very, very stiff prime. I have to test this particular one. I think it might hit a little too hard. But, and yeah, it's hitting hard enough to double ricochet. So it bounces off the wall, hits the wall, bounces off the other wall. It's angled safe. I'm a professional. But this is a decent secondary, if a bit heavy. Now, someone back when Hasbro cared about Nerf and Nerf cared about Rival, looked at this and went, 15. That's not bad. And you know what? Because this barrel doesn't really move, you can two-hand it. But 15 isn't quite enough. It needs more balls. Now, enter the Nerf Artemis. The Nerf Artemis uses a very similar loading mechanism and has taken the outer cover, off the firing mechanism. So again, it's a 4-round revolver. It clicks, loads one in, and then it is able to fire. It's a really neat blaster. I very much like it. I like it enough that because of the weight, I actually installed the sling. And this is actually one of my favorite go-to blasters. Has been since I got, I found 2 of them cheap. $5 cheap. Well, this one was 6. Oh, darn. Anyway, has a little bit of dirt in one of the screw holes I have to clean out. Anyway, works like a champ. Similar methodology. I'm going to change it so you can see what happens. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, except this holds 30. 30 is good. We like 30 rounds. For those of us who don't want to fumble with magazines, who don't want to fiddle around, especially, again, at this era, that's nice. 30 rival balls, and you can top up as you go. No fuss, no muss. Oops, I dropped it. you will see that I have, there's the, it always pulls out of the right tube first. But, bonk, it's supposed to hold 10 in each. I get a few more than 10 in there, but that's okay. So, 30 balls. Big blaster, and I love it. The Rival Artemis was and is one of my favorite blasters. It does have a slight problem of this, the Rival pump grip. It isn't comfortable. It's designed to look cool, not be terribly comfortable, but it works. Can't complain too much. When you're going, you don't even notice it. But, guys, it took me years. It took me almost 10 years to get to the position where I could get and find one. But 30 balls, guys. 30 balls is brilliant. I love it. I can't complain. But some absolute mad lad, some genius, decided, what do we need? More balls! Enter. Unfortunately, it didn't come in red. They for team identification, they made little sling things that clipped on that were in the different colors. So they only had to make a white one and then give you a red. It was cheap. Should have been, it should be in red. But 60 rounds, no waiting, slightly bigger pull. Oh, turned on my Iron Man light. Whew. Safety zone. There we go. Ambidextrous safety. That's nice. You'll notice it's a little low because I was shooting it earlier. This is my new baby. Oh, she is beautiful. This is great for when you don't want to worry about reloading during an engagement. But again, if you have to throw, you can, they increase the slot size so you can throw in 2 to 3 of your wonderful bouncy rifle balls. I have ones from different makers scattered throughout here. You got some Nerf ones, Team Blue. You've got some classic Edge Nerf originals and a bunch of the cheapos. The cheapo yellows that I can get online. They are significantly softer, but they're great little balls. And then the Dark Zone balls. I want to say Ballistic Ops, think was the call sign. They haven't done much with them lately. Last one they did was Ranger, but I digress. Now, I will need to probably get a sling for this. I don't know, but this makes this, you know what we call this now? A secondary. Yes, I can. I can just throw this in my yard on my happy little sling. Pop this guy up. And I can let loose with it. Now, I found out something really interesting yesterday. Because yesterday the weather was nice. I let my son get a hold of this. And we took it out to fire it. And while it's not measured for you, these guys range-wise, not accuracy-wise, range-wise, will be hitting at roughly the same range as the lower-end Pro blasters. So you're talking your Nerf Pro blasters being the Torrent and the Sender. I don't have the new Strife. That was way too much money for me. Like the old Aeon Pro, clocking in around 45 to 50 feet without an arc. Now, this guy hits just as hard. And you don't just have to take my word for it.
No, you're fine. Just keep going.
doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Yeah.
Good range?
Yeah.
Good rate of fire?
Yeah.
Awesome. It was great fun taking Xander out, and I love whenever I can put a foam flinging blaster in my son's hands because I know he's going to enjoy it, and I'm going to enjoy it. The range tests are always fun. Whoop, I keep turning my little light on. But I didn't have any jam issues with this. There were a couple times where the ball didn't show up, but they all fired. It was just a matter of the color of the ball, background, and the speed, because the farther, more effective ones went quite a bit farther. But this is one of those things that reminds me why I love Nerf and why I used to love Nerf. I want you to look at this, okay? This is cool, right? This is cool. I'm going to put it down. This is cool. And of course, this is cool. But one important thing is, if you look at this in silhouette, in size, okay? You see the shape, the size, the coloring on all of these guys. There is no way to confuse this with a live, steel firearm. Let me move this out of the way. My mic has wandered a bit. But so what's great about this line, especially, and compared to a lot of the newer and many of the pro blasters, is it doesn't look like a live steel gun. Now, I love my pro blasters, but there are a couple of them I'm nervous. And some of the more expensive ones, I'd be real nervous to go out basically anywhere and use as a blaster, because I don't want this getting confused by the police. And I don't want anybody getting, popped because they got confused. And my son's 16. He's special needs. I don't want him ever to worry about that. So this is an amazing blaster. It's a fun blaster. I really do love this line. Do not buy them new. Check out your Goodwills. Check out eBay. But as things turn around, as the economy shifts, it may be harder to get certain things made in China, like many of the toys. So I want to encourage you not to give up having a good time, but you may have to realize that you're going to need to look a little outside the big box stores. Blasting is fun. I think blasting with especially rifle balls is one of the funnest ways to do it because of the extra quality. What do I mean by that? Hold on. I'm going to... There we go. Got a double out there because it was already pumped. This is a Amazon special kind of bootleg. These glow in the dark. I like that. These are the much more expensive modern, what are called AccuRounds. They're coated different, they're dimpled different, and they are I agree with the box. These guys are far more accurate, but they're far more expensive. But either way, I could sit and squish on these and step on them. They get fired around the house with the different rifle blasters, never at the cats, but the cats love to play with them because they're fun. They're much, much, much sturdier than any of the foam. I would never sit and just squeeze a standard foam dart. So when you're factoring for your kids or yourself, trading a bit of accuracy for a whole lot of longevity of your reusable ammunition is something I think is valid. I think it's important, and they're not quite as in style as they used to be. Last year, Nerf released two great rifle blasters, the Mirage and the Charger. I have both of them. I'm hoping they continue to do wonderful things because there are a lot of things Nerf hasn't done with the rifle line, and I hope that Nerf, gets it in their head to do a lever action rifle blaster. I would love a sling fire version of a rifle blaster. They did a couple jolt type things early on, but I would like to see a genuine minimized rifle jolt. I think that would be cool too. I know Nerf has doubled down on their new end strike darts, and I've kind of avoided it because they just haven't. I don't want to switch to another ammo type again. I'm sorry. I have a huge arsenal right now of Nerf blasters that run on primarily rifle, or far more of them run on the long darts. I also have a few that run on mega darts. The point of all this is sometimes it's just more fun to achieve accuracy through volume. And sometimes, just sometimes, good enough isn't. Sometimes there's no feel. No kill like overkill. And that's part of what makes Nerf great. I'm not afraid to sit back and lay a ton of foam throughout the air. I'm still down one ball that went ricocheting. And have a blast with the kids, with my friends. Or just planking in the yard, in the hallway, ducking ricochets. So guys, wear eye pro. And yes, I know I wore the wrong glasses. I usually wear my black glasses. Fling foam and have fun. I'll see you next week, hopefully, for another pre-recorded Knows Nerf. I still have a few that are in the backlog, so I'm going to keep doing that till I get to them. If there are blasters you want to hear about especially, let me know in the comments. And I am looking to set up the means to receive donated blasters. So, have a great day, guys. Toodles.